So Joseph, let's get started at the top. So tell me the name of your podcast.
It is the 1% Improved podcast. I was inspired by an event I went to last year for work, where that was kind of the idea that I took away from the presentations was you don't have to be perfect right now. You can improve and develop a little bit at a time. And that just hit me and I loved it. Initially, my idea was to cater it towards 20-year-old men in college trying to figure out their lives. But now that I've gone through more and more, I fine-tuned that more to more or less me.
And I find that this happens with most podcasters whenever they first get started. I mean, I know it happened for me. It's like I had this idea of how I wanted everything to go. And of course, nothing ever goes to plan. It's always nice to have a plan, but it's like usually it's something happens along the way. And I think that once we put our content out there, it's just a lot easier to see what works and what doesn't based on people's reactions. And then you kind of tweak it and go. But it's one of those things you don't really know that until you just hit publish and put your stuff out there and you're like, okay, I hope that this works.
Just started putting plans together based on that and listening to the podcast so I could put the pieces together and make a plan. And I launched actually based on the free content. It was after that I realized maybe I need a little bit more. It was enough to get started, but especially the marketing, that was my main motivation for buying the online course. Was I got the recording, I understood editing, I understood kind of planning the content, but I had no idea really what to do for the marketing. So that's where I said, I need a little bit more and I know where to go to get it. I was looking for something for me to do, kind of that creative outlet that we all need. And I wanted to make it more than just a blog or something that I'd throw out there and who knows if anyone would see it or not. Especially since I spend a lot of time in my car for work, commuting, it was a really convenient way for me to grab information and absorb and start making plans. And I had started thinking, I could do that too. I just didn't know where to start. And everything led into your Facebook group and podcast and on from there. When I was thinking about what I would do a podcast about, because the idea of having a podcast came first, then I had to think, what in the world would I even say? I had so many varied interests as we all have, and I started really thinking about what have I enjoyed doing. At work, I enjoy training and teaching and sharing with others the most. And personally, I enjoy talking to my friends and family. What are you working on? What are your struggles? What can I help you with? So I kind of merge those two into more or less personal development. It was very much, where do I start? I helped develop web pages and things at work, so none of that side scared me at all.
Right.
But what does it even take to go from recording? I could understand the recording the audio, but how do you get it out there? I had no clue about that side of it, of podcast hosts and how much to expect to pay for that service and how to make it work. That was the biggest frustration and hang up for me, was how do I take idea and actually make it available. I did try another paid course before yours that just wasn't there. It was very much a you get what you pay for kind of thing. I chose it because it was cheaper, but it just didn't have the meat I was looking for. So the value for me, especially having already launched and I was into the groove a little bit, I needed that little bit more, the how to actually market, how to put the polishing touches on it rather than just hit publish, because that part's not that hard once you know the process. But the clarity stands out a lot. Your guests on your Proffitt podcast are very helpful. I've enjoyed all of them. Heather Sager is now my unofficial speaking coach.
She's awesome. She's
from
so
your
awesome.
episode with her, and everything you provide fits with what I was looking for.